Will you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And if we could please remain standing for a moment of silence in honor of our armed forces and first responders. Follow me into order. All right, welcome everybody to the July meeting. First thing is in order, I will entertain a motion to accept the minutes for the regular meeting of 6/28/23.
There's one change on there. Did she get the change, Doug? Did Julie make the change?
Yeah.
So roll.
It's the one on the senior citizen thing. She had me as voting yes, and I abstained.
Good catch, yeah, good catch.
Yeah.
So we're good. So we have a motion. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried. Recommend action that the village board opens public hearing at 6:01 p.m. for the purpose of the hearing public comments for the Village of Attica's Community Development Block Grant applications for the 2023 program year. Got a motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried. Recommend action the following claims and the clerk to draw the checks. We got a motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried. All right, at this time, we usually open up to the floor. I know Mr. Compton is here to discuss a matter or such. So we'll
Do
open
I
the
have
floor
to
to you.
stand, or am I good?
You can sit if you'd like.
Okay.
We can-
So, me and a couple other local businessmen are looking to help out with like an event center down at the park, which really would be a roller, floor hockey, ice rink in the winter, eventually with a roof on it, so the sun doesn't get to the ice and you can actually have ice. So it'd be $30,000 for the cement to do the pad for a full rink. Brad said he will put it in for nothing. Bobby Bachucki is also committed to helping us out with it. That's pretty much it in a barrel. I mean, you can do all kinds of stuff, event center wise. You know, whether you're doing MMA fights or you're doing quilt sales, whatever. You got a covered building that's big enough to do it. So if the village wants us to go ahead with it, we will start to raise money to do this. So that's about it. Any questions?
Any idea where you'd like to see it?
Where the asphalt is now. Either we have to rip that asphalt out or we can pour over it. We don't know that yet.
You talking about where the drain is or further down towards the east?
The whole thing.
Oh, the whole thing.
The whole thing.
Okay.
It's gonna be a
So
good
you would
set.
our Utopia is a full-sized rink, that big. So,
And that's what was quoted by the $30,000 worth of concrete.
yes.
Similar to what Arcade, I think, that
I was going to say East
Much
Aurora.
bigger than
Does East
Arcade.
Aurora have one too?
East Aurora actually has a little.
East Aurora has it's a full size, so that would be a full size rink. You know, I'm not talking to East Aurora,
Yeah,
but
theirs is refrigerated.
yeah, we want refrigeration systems and all that. We kind of just started thinking about it, and my head just started spinning. It's like, why not make an event center, put a roof over it? Be a nice place to be able to do stuff under. I can get more people doing stuff because it's going to rain, they don't care.
Dave, what's your total budget look like for that?
If I had to guess off the top of my head, we've only put the numbers into the concrete. Altogether, probably $100,000. By the time you're all said and done with a roof on it and whatever else you want to do down there.
That'd be open on the sides.
Open on the sides, freer. Maybe like a building with, like the wood peaks. Make it look nice, put it up. Just don't put up a ugly steel building, but let's make it look decent too.
Would it be possible to even just get like the ice rink in first and then
Yeah,
obviously the roof
yeah, I would
afterwards?
like raise the money, $30,000 for the pad. gotta do a little more research. Brad's doing that right now of what we have to do with the concrete so you can put water on it and we're not gonna have to worry about things breaking, heaving, all that good stuff. So there's a little research to do on all of it, but we really don't wanna put much time into it if the village doesn't wanna do it. I'm not fighting anybody on nothing. You wanna do it, we'll do it. You don't, I'll go home. My life would be a lot easier.
Yeah.
Well, I know we discussed on things that we need to do for the ice rink, because obviously we're going through a nightmare with our ice rink that it's just, we just can't make ice,
Yeah.
on the
Well, one of the problems is it's hard to make ice with direct sun on it.
Yeah,
It just screws it up,
yeah.
so.
It's probably harder to make it too on
When the ground's not freezing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the ground doesn't freeze like it used to,
We're not
Global
getting
warming,
cold
call it what
weather
you will.
like we did. That's why it's great, like Arcade, what they do with theirs during their winter fest and stuff, and having hockey leagues and tournaments and all that. It's a draw. You can draw a lot of people in Attica, doing that, so. And event center with a roof over it, you could just use it for multiple purposes, whatever you needed to use it for.
Mhm.
But we're willing to put time and effort in if the village wants it. Like I said, if they don't, I'm fine. I go home.
And you're saying you're gonna try to fundraise to get.
Fundraise, yeah. I mean, we'll have to have multiple fundraisers and just figure out the best way to go about doing that to raise the money for it. And boards wise, if we want to put boards wise, I thought we could have local businesses could buy a board. And that's the way you could do the boards around it. Have their names and everything on that board, and pretty much it's there until somebody scrubs it off of somebody's face. But
I like it.
Like I say, we definitely need to do something with our.
and we're gonna approach a lot more
We can move it.
businesses. I'd like to get every local business we can get on board with
Yeah.
it.
We can move the warming hut right over there and incorporate that in with it.
Yeah, I doubt it's gonna happen this year, Nate, but
Right.
you never know. Somebody might walk out of the woodwork and be like, here's 30 grand, put
Yeah.
it down. You never know.
Well, I do know, there is the Ralph Wilson grants that are out there.
That's the next thing I was gonna ask
Something-
you, if anybody knew about any grant money that we might be able to get through the village to do something like that too.
Yeah, I know that grant it's pretty big. It's too late this year, but, something maybe next year, this spring, early spring is when you do it.
But yeah, if
Fundraise
we
for
go
now.
ahead with it, maybe I can get somebody to render up a couple drawings, so we know what it's gonna look like when it's done, and that way nobody's guessing.
Yeah.
But let me know.
What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Sounds pretty good.
Go ahead.
Get our permission to go ahead with it.
We will start raising money and
We need to move.
I'll make a
So-
motion that we go forward with this fundraising attempt to put a building in there, a multi-purpose building.
Yeah.
Second.
Ice rink first.
Ice rink, but.
Yeah.
We'll use it in the summer.
I can see
Ice
like
rink's
raising the
nice,
money to
yeah.
put in the ice rink, get that in,
Right.
and then raise the money to put the rest of it in.
Yeah, I think with the concrete, with the 30,000, with just the concrete, I know Brad, because we've spoke on this, obviously. That could be something that could be attainable next year, and maybe the roof over it the following,
Right, Right.
Quite a bit of money to raise, or if, depending on when this grant comes. So I would say we'd make the motion on the concrete with the ice rink,
Yeah.
with the potential idea of
yeah.
it being covered.
All right,
Yeah.
I'll amend the motion to that.
So I got a
I'll
mo-
second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right,
Good.
good to go.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Have a good night, Dave. Thank you. Keep me posted on it.
I will not tell you my name.
Okay, so open up the floor to anybody else that has anything to say, or questions, comments, concerns? No? All right, so we'll start off with public safety.
Good evening. Since last time we met, police department handles 351 complaints, 5 motor vehicle accidents, 7 domestics, warm weather's getting to them. A fraud, 2 community policing events, we've had 2 mental health arrests, a couple funeral escorts. We've issued 66 traffic tickets. We have 1 overdose with an investigation, 1 arrest on warrant, 4 parking tickets. we've got a stalking complaint against, the victim is a county judge, and now our village justice in regards to one individual.
Is it the same person that was a while ago?
So that's being dealt with. The DA's office, the sheriff's department, and the state police are involved. The Attica days went well, but I recommend next year, if they do it again, to move it to a park or parking lots. They can't have it on the sidewalks there. There is absolutely no room for anybody to walk. They're walking the streets. There was a couple very close calls with pedestrians. It's just too dangerous. So just keep it in the back of our minds for next year. The fraud was an elderly resident who hired an individual out of the penny saver to cut down a tree, and he said he was fully insured. He cut the tree down on top of her shed and walked away with $295 because she paid half up front, half when it was done. And when she asked about the insurance, he goes, well, it doesn't cover that. The individual has been arrested multiple times for scheming and fraud. So, and we're about completed with
tree
the,
thing was $600. Is it $295? She paid half.
no, it was $960
okay.
she paid.
Gotcha.
And then she was going to pay the other half when he completed. And I want to commend Justin. Here you are. He went out of his way to help her out and did an excellent job. We've had a larceny of pop cans from the Rite Aid fenced-in area. They put up a trail cam, but it was really not a very good pictures. But we have a pretty good idea, and it's one of the individuals DSS is housing at the motel. All of our car seats have been transferred and accepted by Leroy PD for their up-and-coming car seat program. And almost over half of them were getting ready to expire in November, December, so we don't have to worry about that now. We've had larceny from vehicles. Our homeless couple, they were arrested and issued appearance tickets. We went over to 6 Elm Street for a village ordinance violation and as a peacekeeper for DPW, and they did a really amazing job clearing out the violation, and he was issued an appearance ticket. Criminal mischief on the AYA field, and we've talked to Mindy Kaiser, Mandy, and told her that she really needs to call us rather than having us hear it through the grapevine or a third person, and she just wanted a report. So I increased patrols. They're checking it twice a shift when there's nobody down there, and it seems to be having an effect. We had a complaint of a dirt bike in Village Park and on railroad tracks on Exchange Street. The juvenile operator was located, parents notified, and warned. We had DWAI drugs. I transferred over to the county because by the time I caught up to the vehicle and witnessed the violations of the vehicle and traffic code, it was outside the village. And he was a civilian contractor for the Department of Corrections on his way to work at 9:30 in the morning. We had an assault first up at 19 High Street. 2 females were fighting. One of them pulled a pocket knife, cut the other girl pretty bad, and that individual is in jail on bail, and that was another DSS placement. We had a road rage incident at Market and Buffalo Street. Jeep versus tractor trailer. Who do you think won?
Yeah.
And we had a criminal mischief to the Lions Club Flower Pond on Exchange Street. An individual was located and issued an appearance ticket.
So is it an adult?
Oh, yeah. And then we had a passing at the Gateway House, and it was Jamie Kadzolka, passed away. And we've got I worked with the director down there. They were working on their emergency plans, and she wanted to know what to expect if they had a prison break or whatever. And I basically told her, I said, train your people. You'll be put on our notify list if we have an incident similar to the school, where if you have a lockdown or a lockout, and then you'll be notified once the incident clears. I'm not sure why they needed the policy, probably for insurance reasons. But she was really nice, super nice lady.
Leads me to, what's going on here with the active shooter?
It's almost done.
Been hearing about this quite some time.
Other than that,
That's it.
pretty busy last month. It's not slowing down. Yeah, our homeless people, they're living underneath the bridges and on state property. On 2 occasions, we tried to get them housing through DSS. On 1 occasion, they did get housing at the motel. The next morning, DSS sent over a driver to take them over to Warsaw to have them sign up for housing and fill the paperwork out. They left. He literally had to chase them down on the road, and they would not turn around and recognize him. He identified himself, and they said, "No, we don't need any of your help." There you go.
Are our hands tied?
Pretty much. However, when they do break the law, we're right on top of them, and they will get their appearance tickets.
I do have some things. The signs. The signs out the park.
Yeah, I got a call into the sign maker lady, but she's on vacation. I've got the size and I got the prototype. I just don't have an email address for her to send it to her for a proof. And when she gets back from vacation, which I believe will be Thursday. I think it's Thursday. And then I'm going to call again and say, hey,
Yeah, 'cause I'd like to get these out.
how many? I'm thinking to start, depending on the cost, like 14.
Where are you thinking?
Put them around, well, one around the park, the other playground down here by Bengo's, and maybe other couple random places in the village. Or we could go less. It's up to you guys.
Just kind of give us a little map of where you want to put them.
Okay.
We'll go from there.
All right.
Find out how much they cost and stuff.
And we got a tentative date for next week, maybe the 23rd. Mr. Kirkpatrick's going to get back to me because he's waiting. His head of security is out of the country. He comes back on Monday, so we can schedule next. I want to have the meeting next week to sit down with me, DPW, and the fire department and the ambulance to go over their final plan. And then we're going to go down to the park and do a walkthrough, and they're going to show us exactly where they're going to be putting stuff. And then we're going to find out who's responsible for what. And then I'll get an idea on what the ticket sales are today. So,
Be sure to contact Sheriff Linder too. See if he'd be involved. I know he's through the grapevine. You heard about it. And, I would imagine he'd have to be involved. I know that's I saw him at the Back to Blue Ride. He didn't seem too keen on the idea because there's a tractor pull going on in Pike, but I mean.
and my past
Just
experience,
so he's aware.
he is.
Yeah.
Whenever I've asked for help for veterans, the Veterans Day Parade,
Yep.
2 occasions, they assigned the West Patrol to help. But if there's a call someplace else, which on 1 occasion was an arcade, they send that car. I've already got that car assigned to post, so now I have to backfill it somehow. But I'll let them know.
Yeah, definitely keep in touch with them. I do have a couple other things. So AYA, the incident down AYA, I know, like with the park incident, because there's no fence, there's really no way you can even issue tickets or anything. With them, could they post the property?
What do you mean?
Because I remember when we talked about taking the fence down between Meadow.
It goes from criminal trespass to a trespass.
Correct. So AYA is the same similar situation. Now, is their property posted?
No, just the property owners on either side saying no trespassing, not AYA.
So if AYA posted it, would that be?
It'd still be a simple trespass. But if they're a juvenile,
Yeah.
they get petitioned to family court. They don't get arrested.
So would it be a good idea for them to post it?
Yeah, see what happens.
So I know that, I work with Mandy, and I know that she talks about a lot of incidents down there. So that's what I suggested.
Let her know she's got to call us.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know how to get. I know,
We've been there for 30 some odd years.
but a lot of
The number has never changed.
I know.
On your way to work, stop in and see us.
Yeah. Yeah. And I have here something you talked about near the school, speeding near the school. You want-
Oh, yeah. I don't think the speed thing up by the high school is deterring people.
Okay. It was, go ahead.
No, I mean, just to the number of times I've seen it, people are not doing 30.
Okay.
So, like, could you sit at,
Yeah.
like, where, either in the school, like, during the summer, or Williams parking lot, or the old parking lot there?
Oh, Doc Williams' old place?
Yeah,
Yeah, we can't sit there.
in the,
We usually sit at the medical center. Facing in.
We just spent a little more time, because I haven't heard any complaints about the other, I mean, you used to hear a lot of them from, Clinton Street and a lot of them from Genesee Street, but don't hear anything from either one of those two.
Right.
You don't get any data from those.
No, those are just simple signs, digital signs. We do have the black hat too I can put up, and we've done it before for that stretch.
Yep.
Um,
We'll do that again.
I mean, even the school buses don't do 30. It's
You know that,
ridiculous.
right, Gary? 35, 37. I saw a car come down a week ago coming into the village. It was around 10 o'clock, it was a brown car. And I think the radar picks it up as you go by it. It
mhm.
was doing 58.
Oh,
Do you notice it?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw a bunch of bikes coming this weekend.
yeah, sport bikes?
They were all
Yeah.
50 plus going through there.
All right.
But by the time I call somebody, they're out of the building.
They're out,
Right.
they're gone, yeah.
We'll just spend a little.
But we'll post a patrol up there, radar, a couple times and see what we can grab.
It slows me down.
It-
I mean, when
Well, it's because we are honest, law-abiding people.
when I see them doing 35, I'm like, whoa.
Uh-huh.
It is meant as a reminder,
Right.
Yeah, I'm sure it does deter
Right.
some, but not everybody. Anybody have any questions?
Look at signs or read signs.
Yeah, right.
Many people don't even look at signs and read signs.
Yeah, but when it's flashing,
You would think that.
right.
It should throw out road spikes.
There you go.
Anybody have any questions for the chief?
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Chief Bovee?
I had 29 calls since the last meeting, 18 of them in the village, 8 of them in the town, 3 of them mutual aid. 3 of our younger members just completed IPO. Was it jail last month, early last month? Did we know what happening?
Chief, could you just get up there a little bit so the microphone can hear you?
Heavy as a head that wears the crown.
It's got a message that everything's working, so.
So early last month, we met with the salesman for the new fire truck. He gave us one set of specs for a regular pumper. We didn't get the 2 specs between pumper and pumper rescue. And a few of our honest opinions, we think that the specs are very nice. A few little tweaks to kind of make it more like ours, and it'd be a great truck. But we've had a little bit of change in our last meeting, that the truck committee has been kind of changed up, switched up. Few people have been taken off, one other person's been added, and there's a new chairperson. So the new chairperson that should be coming to at least be talking to you guys about everything for the new truck should be Brad Meisner. I'm still on there, then a few other guys are still on there. We just have one new person, and Mr. Myers and Mr. Hamilton have been taken off. Hopefully everything can go smooth and we can keep going further on this. August 1st, there's a countywide recruitment at Warsaw High School. Kind of planning on taking one of our trucks over and doing something to continue to kind of recruit
Sure.
new members. Right now, we do have one application. But we have a change in our bylaws to where now new applicants meet with the investigation committee, kind of do like an interview, this way some of our members kind of get a feel for the guy at the beginning. So we still have to do that, and then he should be brought up soon. Just like Dean, how he met with the director over at the Gateway House, I also met with her, and I noticed a few things that I kind of just brought to her attention to kind of change up. Fire extinguisher locations, markings, CO and smoke detectors, locations for them, and pretty much some of them I noticed that they were both smoke and CO detectors, and some were just smoke detectors, so I just kind of had to give a little bit of information on, kind of check through and make sure you're putting them in the right locations. But other than that, that's it for me.
A question for you. Are you looking at more than one company as far as that new fire truck?
So we have one company right now that we're meeting with, and he's getting the specs, and that's where the specs come out, and we go to send it out to bid.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay, that's for other companies.
Yes,
Because
How many, there can't be too many manufacturers.
there's quite a bit.
Oh,
There's the regular ones that we've always seen, like Pierce, E1, KME, Spartan, Sutphin. Those are some of the bigger names that you'll tend to see, but you start looking more and more out there, there is a lot more than you would think. But most of the time, a lot of them are out west.
Are the specs gonna be generic enough that everybody can bid on it, or are they gonna be geared towards one manufacturer?
That part I have no clue on. It all depends. I know Spartan, they kind of work a specific way with their specs, because like Alexander's truck, you look at their truck and look at some of our trucks, we have certain compartments by the wheel wells for air bottles. The Alexander's new truck, they don't have that. They have it above the wheel, a part of the other compartments for the air bottles. So it's kind of, there's some companies that have different kind of ways of doing things. Some of them are more generic than others, but
Are the specs gonna be generic enough where other people can bid on it, or is it, I know in the past, if we wanted one truck, we got their spec and bid it out, well, you didn't meet that spec because it's this, you have to have not that,
I guess
you
I'm
know what
gonna,
I'm saying?
guess I'm gonna have to see what kind of goes down for the next truck committee meeting. Like I said, sadly things kind of just, the whole committee kind of has changed a little bit. So that's kind of where I'm not sure if the specs that we have are gonna be still used, or if they're just gonna be thrown out and we start all over again.
Thank you.
So that's kind of where we're at with that.
Was there just one set of specs as if we're gonna keep number one? And
So-
then another set of specs as if we're going to,
So in my personal experience, from going out to Onondaga County and having a little bit of experience with the department out there, the trucks down here with the whole pumper and pumper rescue, you can honestly get a regular pumper and kind of put in rescue equipment like the jaws, shoring, all those different things. Like even if you look at Bennington's truck, they got a regular pumper that they have extrication equipment and fire equipment on there. So, and just my personal thought, it's the set of specs that we do have, I think it would work great for in case it's 2 and 5 or in case it's 1 and 2 that go. But that's my personal opinion. I can't speak on the behalf of everybody. Everybody's got their own opinion. So, but just gonna have to wait and see as time goes on and we start actually meeting again. So,
well, now we got some numbers.
yeah. So,
See, Wyoming just got a new truck, does that have both, do you know anything about it, or?
so Wyoming's new truck is more of it's called a pumper tanker. It's more like a tanker. It's got the 2,300 gallons, a little bit of a pump, but not a whole lot of compartment space. It's to me, I think it's just a regular tanker,
Okay.
but that's just me. So, anything else for me? No?
We'll set
All
up a
right.
night where we can meet and go
Absolutely.
through this stuff.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else, anything for?
No.
No. Anybody have anything? So moving on to DPW, Craig, if you'd like to.
I'll go before Matt.
I figured you'd want to skedaddle.
I do actually, but that's okay. Let's see. The clock guy was here yesterday and again today. He replaced almost everything in that clock. Still didn't fix it.
Oh, no.
Claims it needs a motor now. He didn't have one with him. He's going back to Pittsburgh and he's coming back Thursday, he says. So hopefully
Pittsburgh or
we'll,
Philly?
Pittsburgh, I believe.
Okay.
I think I said Philly originally, but I think it's Pittsburgh.
Okay.
The dedication is the 29th of July.
Noted.
That's- Right now, it doesn't even have a chance on it.
Yeah. Yeah, which the entire family, a lot of family are coming in from California, all sorts of other states.
Well, if I have to, I'll have Junior up there moving hands.
Yeah, there you go.
We'll,
Just
we'll
put 'em
make,
inside.
right, we'll make something work. But hopefully Thursday he'll have, what had happened was, I guess during shipping, the hands were rubbing on the glass and it burned the motor out. And it actually scratched the glass, so he's bringing a new piece of glass as well. So that's that. Brush pickup was Monday, that went out, off without a hitch. I talked to Devin Blue from the county about the core samples up on Colony Run. They're coming out tomorrow. We have 7 or 8 spots, I think, we're gonna core sample, see what's up there, and then we can make a determination on what we need to do. So I'll know more after the core samples, and of course I'll relay that to you guys. We started on some sidewalks on North Pearl. We got about 60 feet ripped out and formed up as of today. I was tied up most of the day helping the clock guy with the man lifts, so I wasn't over there. And then lastly, I have the Opera House. That's the estimate I put in front of all of you guys. Bobby, I literally just got this from him before I came here. He went over it real quick with me. The way I understand it, the first one for the 50/20 is to fix the roof and board up all the windows. The second one is to fix the back of the building where all the plywood blew off. What's causing the windows to get blown out are the pigeons. So if we go ahead and board up all the broken windows and fix the roof, the back's still wide open, and the pigeons are gonna come in and break more windows. So we're gonna be back to square one. So I guess that's something you guys have to decide.
Well, I want to talk a little bit about that also.
I do too.
Of course, you guys got the letter from Tim about the thing. So Darren had come in and said that we should contact Tim and ask him to write a letter to the owner of the property, let him know that emergency repair needs to be done, and that we don't want responsibility. Tim does not feel comfortable with that at all. He thinks if we do any work on there, it's now ours to maintain, not ours to keep, but ours to make sure we maintain. So if other things happen in the future, that's gonna be us. He is not comfortable with it at all. He wants me to express that to you guys. He wants to get all the notices that have been sent to them from us in the county. I sent him ours, and I'm waiting for the county. I called the county, and they said, Darren had said that they're ready to go to court with the guy on some permit things, right?
Yes.
I called the county, and they don't have any record of anything. So I got a call from Don Roberts to call me back, and hopefully they'll do it tomorrow, and I want a copy of everything that they've sent to that property. So I can give that to Tim. He's gonna call NICOM and try to get an official word from NICOM that says, if we do something, are we going to be responsible in the future? He doesn't know, but he also doesn't want to advise us to do it without knowing. So, he says we really shouldn't approve any amounts or nothing right now until we get confirmation that it's not going to be our headache moving forward.
That makes sense.
So I spoke to Dave Zarinsky. Dave's pretty much been their consultant through this whole thing here. And David mentioned that we should send a letter to the keepers with it, attentioning Jeff with it. I said, with all due respect, I think Jeff needs to contact the village. It's been going on way too long. I think the front of the building, that's what brought this. I mean, the front of the building looks horrible, you know. So I think we at least need to, you know, Dave is going to reach out to him this week and let him know that, you know, we need to move forward with something. So I think we can probably wait till this week to find out what we get back with, you know, hopefully Jeff reaches out to us and you know, they at least get that going, because we're not gonna put up with this. But
We could dress the appearance
yeah,
up.
I think what we need to
Do some
do,
more of those barrels or whatever.
So this was my next thought on that. I know that the barrels and the rope, I mean, there's really no way to shine that up. I mean, we put more barrels, it's still gonna look like barrels. I mean, my thought was maybe we'll put some 2x, you know, some temporary posts in the corners and just put 2x, and it's gonna look better than what's there. It's gonna cost us some money, but, I mean, if we're looking to clean that up a bit, that's really our only option.
so I looked into, when I was talking to Doug about it, I looked into they call them the bike rack barriers. You know, they look like bike racks.
Mhm.
Sections of them are really 8 to 10 foot. They're really only about $200 a piece. I know we discussed, there was still some money left from that emergency. Dean, I know we even talked about
Traffic
those.
safety, yep.
Yeah, we even talked about possibly getting those for future things, such as like even the rodeo, you could use them for barriers for, you know, parking cars and such. I mean, I don't know how many, without knowing how many we'd need, but if they're 8 to 10 foot long, figure out how many we need, how much that would even cost just to have those, and we can utilize those, you know, in the future.
It's a 60-foot wide building, isn't it?
Yeah,
that what it
roughly,
is?
give or take.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing, you know, at least 12 of them probably, right?
Yeah, at least. I
It's
mean,
gotta
I don't know.
be, gotta
Depending on 8 or
be.
10
That
foot
sidewalk's
long.
over 20 foot from the building to the curb, I know that.
Yeah, and I just did I really just did a Google search. I don't know if we can get them maybe even cheap. Actually, the price surprised me. If it was anytime sooner, we could just have the prison make them, but.
Right. I just don't, I mean, me personally, I don't see us using them anywhere, is my only thought on that. I mean, maybe the police would, but, you know, for us, I don't know what we would use them for. You know what I mean? I'm just being honest, so.
Yeah. I just don't know how long this is gonna be like this, too.
Correct. So that was my
and-
thought, maybe we go down and spend a couple $100 on some 2x and we paint it brown or, you know, whatever. You know, I don't know, it was just a thought,
Yeah, no, I get it.
to dress it
Do
up.
we
or-
have any wood left from the rink, when we tried to put wood around the rink?
Oh, it's all still there. Those are 2x12 by 14-foot
Is there a way we
planks.
could utilize that wood that we already got?
We could cut it,
That's up to you guys, I mean, what are we gonna do with it if we don't use it for that?
it's gonna rot. So that's an option. There's plenty of lumber there, we can turn that into something. It really wouldn't cost us much, anything. We already have it. If you guys decide that we're never gonna do that rink again.
Well, I'd like to see this come to fruition, because
Right.
obviously that's not working. We're just not, the
Right.
ground is just not freezing.
Just not in that location, but we
Sure.
won't need the wood if we, you know.
Right, and it's
Just-
all
just
stacked
do
next
it
to the
right
pole
center.
barn. I can rip it on the table saw and we can make some, you know, almost like a fence out of it, I guess. At least dress it up a little.
Or maybe what we could do is even, you know, when we talk to Jeff, tell him that we need something that looks a lot more pleasing, because it's embarrassing. It is.
It is
And even, to me,
embarrassing.
even with 2x4s and 2x6 is gonna look,
I think it'll look better than what we have.
it'll look
there.
better. Anything looks better than what's there now.
Right, right.
You know, it's,
Yeah, I drive by it every day. I don't like it.
yeah, no, I know.
And it's been long enough.
Absolutely, way too long. So I guess what we can do, let's wait this week, see what, you know, what Jeff has to say, if he calls the office, mention that we would like to see something different from the front. It's your building that's causing this issue. Maybe see if they'd like to even purchase those barricades, Because we're gonna have thousands of people here.
Well, right, the rodeos
within
come
next,
in and then the
local
MMA
August
fight.
here.
And, Listen,
It's-
Nate, I take pride in the village.
Yeah,
It bothers me, but what can we do about it?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, let's see what we get here back from between Dave and Jeff Keeper there, and we'll go from there, I guess. Make that decision.
Okay, that's all I had. Any questions?
Couple of things, we mulch that we need for the playground on Main Street and maybe a little bit in the park.
In the park? Yep. We gotta contact Domes for that.
Yeah, we can't use the mulch, I guess, that we got the pile down there, I guess that's illegal or
Right.
whatever.
Yeah. It has to be, oh yeah, you have to have
Some
special
special playground
mulch
mulch?
for playgrounds. Yeah. And you could use it in your backyard, but we can't in the public sector, you know what I mean? It's just the way it is.
So,
So yeah, that is on my list to get a hold of Shannon to get mulch for that. And what was the other thing?
well, the price, we gotta make, he'd be within his area of being able to purchase it, right?
I would assume so.
I don't think it would be. more than-
I didn't budget for that either, so that's,
you know, that's understandable, but I mean,
right.
I don't think you need a motion from us, but.
I don't think so. Did we, Doug? No?
No.
As long as it stays under the.
You
Okay,
got a threshold, I got a threshold.
okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
Hold by the Catholic Church, you want to explain to the people here that, what's underneath that and what's the cause of it?
Oh, East Avenue, in front of Kaiser's?
Oh, yeah, you said.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a vault under there that, it's part of our storm system. And the whole, it would be the north wall is caving. It's eroding away. So we gotta come up with a plan to either fix it or replace it. So that's why that cone's sinking. It's not, the road's not gonna collapse. It's not, there's no imminent danger or anything like that. But it's on my list.
Craig doesn't have to stay above?
No, but the way the problem is the way our storm lines run, we'd have to put like a manhole out in the middle and another manhole and then a DI.
Gotcha.
So we're trying to come up with an idea to not have all that. We don't want a DI in the middle of the road. So,
Now, National Fuel's gonna be tearing up, putting in new gas lines in August possibly. Would you be able to see more of that when they do
see more of the vault.
that? Yeah.
We have pictures of it. And Gary, you did ask about that?
I asked about if you guys had pictures.
Yeah, it's on Diamond Maps. If you
Okay.
go into the stormwater
Okay.
and you click on that
Yep.
DI, there's a link to the picture in there.
Okay.
So you can see we took a 360 of it.
A while back.
Yeah, a while back.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's.
So you don't have anything current though?
Nothing in the last probably year now.
Okay. I think it might be a good idea to take a peek at it.
Yeah, we'll take a
Compare
look.
the two and see how much you.
Right,
Yeah.
right. We'll take a look at it.
Another thing is that culvert on 354. And to get into that is what we have to do. What's our responsibility or the state?
So according to Brian Sherman, which is the resident engineer now at DOT, that is ours. And it's not theirs at all, which I don't agree with because it goes under their road. He claims it is, and that's the end of it.
That's on both ends, right?
Right, so there's, there's a concrete box culvert under the actual road. And then from there, it's galvanized pipes out the ditches.
And we have those on hand.
I have the culvert pipes, yes, and the ends to fix it. DOT said they provide us traffic control, and that's about it. They won't do anything about it, so it's on us, which I don't agree with. It's their ditch, it's their road, why is it ours?
Who cleans that ditch?
I've never seen
I thought they did.
Yeah, state cleans it.
I've never seen the state up there.
No?
Yeah, pretty sure.
It's their property.
Well, they're saying it's not.
Pretty sure.
They're
I've
saying
seen the
that
state
culvert
clean it.
under the road is ours.
They're saying the concrete part was theirs.
No.
Oh, the whole thing?
the whole thing.
Try to open cut the road and see what they say.
Well, what Brian had told me is, you know, if it erodes enough into our road, we're gonna do something about it. So, I mean, maybe we just want to.
Take a heavy truck up there.
Right, right.
Start cracking it.
Keep running it back and forth.
So, we already did purchase the pipe and the ends to fix that. So, I mean, it's my opinion, I think we should just do it and be done with it.
Is there any paving involved with it afterwards?
No, shouldn't be.
It's just all stone.
That's all on the shoulder.
Is there any other culverts going up through there?
That's the only one that I'm aware of.
Is there somebody else we could talk to just to make sure that he's right?
I mean, we could appeal over the resident's head, go to
We could.
Rochester, but you're not gonna make a friend that way.
I met with, who was it? It was Kenny Bittner. Kenny Bittner said it was ours. Then it was Heather Langdon.
Yeah.
Heather said it was ours, and now it's Brian Sherman, and Brian says the same thing.
And they've all moved up the chain
Right.
to Rochester.
Yes.
So how many man hours you figure for a job like that? Ballpark.
I think we could do one side in 2 days.
One side, two, so you're looking at 4 days of work.
4
up there?
days probably. We'll call it a week for
Dedicating,
both
what,
sides.
Three guys to it, or?
Oh, probably 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and DOT doing all the traffic control.
Right. It's only gonna get worse.
It's gonna get worse. And everyone, you know, DOT says it's ours, I say it's DOT's, and I say we just fix it. We already got the material. Or we let it go and the road caves and DOT fixes it.
No, we can't do that, somebody could get hurt.
Right.
Can't risk that.
Even though if somebody gets hurt, they're gonna point to the
Well, correct. Especially when I brought it to DOT's attention that it's a problem and they say it's ours. So.
Did they give you written notice that it was ours?
No, Hans Gary talked about that. I am gonna reach out to DOT on it and
Yeah,
have him. He did send me over the, whatever code was or whatever he called it. If it's like 1976 to present, if DOT ever touched it, it's theirs. If it's not, it's ours. So I don't know if that'll stand up, but that's what I had.
Just if we had it in writing that way, you know.
Okay. I will reach out to DOT on
Still
that.
gotta do it.
And
It
Gary, I
covers
did,
us a little bit if we.
Right. I did follow up on the email as well to DOT about Hamilton's house up there.
Oh, barriers?
Yeah, I did the study on that. I didn't hear anything back, but I'm sure they'll respond.
Okay.
Lights for the rodeo. We
Okay.
usually turn them around for
No, they're all facing the right way now.
Okay.
Because we got 2 on the tennis court facing in, and the other 2 on the tennis court facing the old basketball court. And then, of course, the old ice rink. So I'll just make sure the timers are set. And, what time did we leave them on till last year? Anybody remember? Was it midnight or 1 or 2?
Do you
I
remember,
don't even remember.
Do you know how long the lights?
I'd say at least till 1 AM, make sure everybody gets out.
Yeah, because they run they got a beer tent and stuff there.
Your tent probably goes till 2. That guy that went driving through our splash pad, that was about 2 o'clock in the morning, if I remember right, on the
I believe so.
timestamp.
Keep them on till 2?
2:30.
2:30? Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt.
Yeah, it's just for the weekend, so
Yeah.
as long as the neighbors don't complain.
That's all.
Gary, say anything for DPW?
Covers it.
All right, thanks,
Okay,
guys.
great. Well, yeah, like I say, we'll catch up on the Opera House here. Liaison. Or, no, Matt, jeez.
Matt,
I'm used to just doing one DPW.
It's Matt's turn.
Yeah, hey guys, have a good night. Have a good night.
A lot going on at the plant. Craig actually came up last week, and we started last year cleaning our own lagoon out. So this year was kind of a trial year, doing a couple different things, and we found out renting a pump from place would take Godwin's pump. We got that at that. really worked good. They were the cleanest it's been ever since I've been there. So we're slowly every year trying to get a little bit better and better and better, trying to nail it down. We were spending like $7,000 at companies come in and do it, but DPW guys come up, and I think we're way under it this year. I think we're like $4,500 for the equipment we had to rent.
Awesome.
And we got it done. So we did that. That's taken about a week. They came up yesterday, marked off, they're gonna do bore samplings next week up there for the new plant, where they're gonna extend it. So they did that. We got a trip next week. Me and Corey are gonna go to Avons to look at a water plant over there, a little field trip. It's similar to what we're gonna be putting into ours, but we just wanna see exactly what we're getting. I just don't wanna take a word and say, hey, yeah, 2 years from now, that'll be there, and that's what we're stuck with for the next 40 or 50 years. So we're gonna go and check one out. At
Labella going with you?
What's that?
Is Labella going with you?
Yes, Matt, and I don't know if Oliver might go too. So, yeah, we're gonna go over and just check it out, see what it is, make sure it's gonna fit our, it might look good on paper, but it might not be
Sure.
reality when we see it. So we just wanna touch it.
Get your feedback on some of the stuff too.
Yep. So other than that, I mean, we're just moving along up there. It's busy. It's probably the busiest I've ever been up there. It's kind of crazy. We're trying to keep all the properties mowed and up, and it's going good.
Yeah, everything looks good.
Doing well, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. How the beavers?
Beavers, no more beaver at number 3. We went up and cut some of the dam out when we had a dry spell. We gotta get up there and get some more out. But they trapped, my brother got 6 out of Nesbit. Dave Poulsen got 10 out of Croats Road, and he got 6 out of number 2.
Wow.
So, and they said they're not all gone, but they're manageable now. So, they're gonna, both the guys will come up next year and trap again to make sure that we keep it under control so we don't get in the same bind.
Yeah, let them know we're here.
Yeah, they're a hell of a builder, I'll tell you, man. They can build up
Oh, yeah.
a really strong dam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody have anything for Matt? Off the hook?
Yeah, perfect.
Good job, man. So now we'll move on to the liaison.
Okay, talking about water, that water districts, I guess, they pretty much are limited it to number 1 and number 2 proposal. Number 1 is the Route 90 or Dunbar over to 98 and back into the village, and the other one is on East Main. I guess the other 3, they kind of anticipated the cost is a little high, and the responses, I guess, aren't as great in those areas as far as people want. There's a lot of concern still in all the areas as far as the cost of what it's going to cost the property owners for the line to go through. And they're going to, the town is going to request, and had a motion last night, is to ask for solid figures as to what actually it's going to cost per parcel of land for the owners, just if the line goes through, whether they take the water or not. And there still is a lot of concern over that. Because I can't remember, but it was, how much was it a year about, Gary? You remember?
Well, the way it stood right now, I think it was 600 to 800 a year.
I think Alexander's 800.
I think it was in that ballpark.
It's just District 1, right, Gary?
No, that was for all of them.
For real?
Yeah, then as you're going up the hill, so it's gonna be less than that.
I think it was 800 per parcel, so some people had a lot of parcels.
Right.
You add those up.
By the farmers.
Yeah.
That was the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Understandably. Yeah.
It is.
It was, $920. No, excuse me, $1,335. But that price there was all going up Exchange Street, from the tower and the pump station. All that was included in that $1,300. It's gonna come down considerably because we're not going We're not going up Exchange Street, up to the Lindsay Road, put a tower up there and come back down 98 from there. So we're waiting for, you think Bruce from Lavella
Matt Higgins.
or Matt? Well, we're gonna get together with them hopefully this week, get the ball rolling. So we got the interest on 1 and 5. We've got to come up with a price for 1 and 5. And then we'll put it out to the people. Yes, you want it, there was probably 90% said they wanted it from the water plant to 98 north of the village. So there's a percentage, we have to have, I think, 90% or 85 to 90% say yes, they want it, or we're not going to do it. So it looks like it's going to be a goal, and I don't think a lot of people don't understand the fire protection, the fire safety of that water line going by their house. None of that, the hearing that we had up, none of that was brought up. I mean, imagine they could care less, but they're not paying that price because it was too much money. But yet, they had a house fire, and the fire department had to go on Sonic Road to drain a pond or go 200 feet from the house to the fire out. And none of that was brought up, and I was surprised about that.
And not only that, this is savings in insurance.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So many feet from the hydrants, how
Yeah.
they
But it's,
issue.
yeah, I'd rather have the fire hydrant in front of my house and save the $80 a year for my insurance. Because that's the way, I mean, they're gonna get a little tax, they're gonna break on their insurance because of the hydrant being there, which helps. But the main thing is to have the water there for a fire. And the only thing that we did, that hasn't been brought up is from the water service to the houses on the landowner. Whatever company they decide to come in and have it put in, that's entirely up to them. And I really don't think some of them understood that. They think when the water line comes down Dunbar, they're going to automatically have water. And that has to be explained a little bit. The water's there, it's up to you to hook up. It costs an emergency, probably, I don't know, $800 to $2,000 in that ballpark. I have no idea.
2,500 to 3,500 is what I'm hearing in Alexander.
Come on, bro.
No, it has to be separate contractors.
Oh,
Yeah, like
oh.
private, because they leave the width, and then you gotta.
Hook up to
I
that.
know Bob Kaminsky's been doing a lot of them. It sounded to me, it sounded to me like he's been the cheapest, actually, of the contractors around.
There's a lot to do in the basement too, when you get it down
Yeah.
there. It's
Yeah.
not just,
You gotta come through the wall.
Yeah.
Now, are the meters gonna be provided by the village,
Yes.
and they're going to automatic rev like we have in town?
I would assume so, yeah.
Yeah.
And any user on the village line gets a meter for us. If
Right.
anything happens to the meter, they have to pay to replace it
To a certain size.
to a certain size.
correct.
Right.
Well,
No, I don't think it's
Three-quarters.
three-quarter,
yeah.
three-quarter.
I don't think anybody in that area from Dunbar
We're gonna get a bigger,
No.
to 98
Down the road.
back in the village, they're not any kind of sewer system, so they're not have to pay sewer tax on that water.
yeah, any of our outside users don't have sewer anyway.
No.
so.
The only one I thought, and she had brought it up to me, the houses that are in the village of Attica on 98, what rate would they be paying?
Oh, anything that's not in the village would be an outside user rate.
Okay, so Louis Schultz would pay the regular inside.
Louis Schultz is
Village
inside.
rate.
And there's a couple houses on top
Yeah,
of that.
Acton, Buffarella, and Purdy, and all that would
Right.
be inside user
They
rate.
paid the inside user rate, okay. That's what I had told Louise, but I wasn't 100% sure. So we're working on that.
Okay, they brought up that Glora Road, they're paving Glora Road, I guess. Pickup truck is coming next week,
Hopefully.
hopefully.
It's
Uh,
the truck is here, but they're putting the plow equipment on.
Oh, okay.
I talked to Larry the other day, and the truck is is Bayham this year, and I don't know where he's getting the phone, he couldn't put on, I believe in Rochester or something. And they were waiting for a toggle switch of some sort that didn't come in the package, or it came in and was destroyed over there.
I got one in the garage.
Yeah, right. Always that one little part.
Yeah.
So it should be here sometime in July, hopefully.
And there's a new zoning officer appointed,
Correct.
and what's his name?
Taylor, first name Gerald.
Gerald.
Oh, Jerry Taylor,
Jerry Taylor,
Muniac Farm?
yes. Up on the hill?
Yep.
Yep,
Okay.
he's the new zoning board. He's the new zoning officer.
Stevens Solar Project is on hold, I guess, because of the problems they're having. The right names on the
Well,
permits.
they sent all the paperwork in, the paperwork wasn't filled out correctly, they left the building permit, that wasn't included in the package. You know, it should, well, I'm not gonna go there, but anyway, it was the wrong information that we got. The planning board didn't get the right information they needed to proceed with the project.
And it's a new company, right, Karen? Isn't that?
It's the third one.
And Nathan
Yeah.
Rizzo, I believe his name. I saw him come in and have a meeting with Nathan Rizzo was the guy that
Yeah.
we were dealing with on so.
So was it,
Solar
Solar
Liberty
Liberty.
at the time, but who knows what it is now.
I knew I recognized that name.
But Nathan Rizzo was the guy. He came in and talked to me, he goes, hey, I go, well, we still got that property,
Yeah.
let's go, you know.
It's been probably around 4 years, and one company started, sold it to another company.
Yeah.
This company sold to this one, and every time they do that, they've got to change the paperwork.
Yeah.
And whether they do it, if they do it incorrectly, it doesn't work.
I guess the Sawyer project, solar project is coming along pretty well.
Right. That's on its way up.
Yeah, that their papers are ready to be sent to the county and that, so they're a little more on the money there, I guess. I guess assessments are gonna be done again this year. I think we brought that up last.
The revale,
Um,
doing a revale?
Yeah, eval,
Well, it's been 3 years, I think, since Tina did the revale.
yeah.
She was supposed to be here last time we meeting, but she's on vacation. So hopefully, there's some questions I have for her, along with the rest of the board.
I'm gonna go home tonight and start ripping down some of my siding.
Yeah,
Throw some garbage on the front lawn.
I guess, I can't remember what township, but they didn't have any reassessment for a number of
It was
years.
Bennington, I think, huh?
Was it Bennington? And they had it down to about 40%.
They were 35.
And then when they had the reassessment, it was like, whoo, huge. So, I mean, right now, I think if we keep it up to date, at least it won't be as bad a hit, hopefully, for most people.
We're over 90%, aren't we?
We're about 96% right now, we should be at 100.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
But last year, I think we're 100, this year 96, 97.
If you let it go too long, well, that's what'll happen, is that you'll get to where Bennington was.
Yeah.
Well, they were at like 40%,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, they really let it go.
Equalization was crazy.
There is a new county manager in the hospital, I guess is going to be, which hopefully they'll be able to manage their business a little better than what they have been doing.
Long time coming.
Yeah, and so it's in hopes that they get that finalized and that they hire a new manager. That'll bring maybe a little more revenue to the hospital. Not that it might make money, but at least they might not be losing as much as they have been.
The county's gonna hire a county manager for just the county side,
Right,
not
just the
have
hospital.
nothing to do with the hospital. The hospital's its own.
Well, I think they are gonna manage the hospital
County
as well.
administrator.
Well,
That's
what I
not
understood.
they said that the hospital's its own thing. They just want somebody that's gonna manage just the county, not the hospital.
Right.
So I think from what I understand that what he said, that they're going to have a manager for the hospital itself.
Because
Yeah,
the
maybe-
hospital has a CEO and a
Right.
COO.
And the president and everything else.
But I thought they were
Because
bringing this manager
They were
over to look
keeping
at the
a
hospital.
salary lower, keeping a salary lower for just the county
Huh.
and not touch the hospital.
Hmm.
Yeah, the county administrator position, rather than a public hearing.
And it was just, I think the article was in the Daily News.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
September.
Okay. Well, maybe it won't help the hospital.
No, this is just a county administrator. They haven't had one since DeFebo in 2001.
Right.
Yeah, they're a long time. But I also hope they remember that when they got rid of DeFebo, or he left, and they didn't, everybody else got raises, especially the chairman. So if they hire a county administrator, let's hope those salaries go back down.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'm just
Maybe.
saying.
Mhm.
They
That
have
would
extra
be.
money to do extra work. Now they don't have to do the extra work, so.
Yep. Yep.
That makes sense.
It sounds like that's what's gonna, I mean, the chairman will- and the vice chair will get more than the rest of them, but not, I think they're paying the chairman 50,000 now. It's not gonna be that much.
Good. It's good to hear.
Because the county administrator's gonna take over what the
Right.
chairman is doing now.
There was an article in the Daily News today about the administrator's position.
Yeah.
150 grand a year.
Wow.
And the only other thing that I have, it really has anything to do, well, it has to do with the town and the village, is Sharon By wanted me to thank both the town and the village for their contribution towards the senior citizens. And we went on that trip last week, the Buffalo Harbor and Pierce Arrow Museum, Chef's Restaurant, and Murillo Store. And we had, I think it was 38 or 39 people that went. Very good day, very good weather. Everybody was happy that I know it was a good trip. And she just wanted me to thank you. There's a photograph, I think, on Facebook that was taken at the harbor. She just wanted to let you know that it's on Facebook, and thank you for it.
Cool.
That's all I got.
You got anything, Gary? Anything extra?
I'm good.
All right, so move on to the planning board. Nobody here for the planning board, so Doug, you're up.
I just got the reports that I give you. Bank reconciliation, assessors, treasurers, and justice reports. I don't have anything else.
How many do we get to sign up for rec?
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
70
Rec?
something, I think.
The youth rec,
Yeah, and then I think they had 40,
78.
78.
I checked with Savage.
It was 70.
The other day, I was down there and talked to her. She had a rough first week,
Yeah, she did really well.
but she did well. She managed it well.
Yep.
Got a hold of the police department and had to throw some kid out of the park, out of the program to begin with, then out of the park the next day, which is the same one that was thrown out last year. Arts, I think was the name. Oh, Fugitive. But, yeah, the one boy. So, and then she had some other kid that spit in another kid's face, and she had to deal with that. And then the homeless fella came down and went into the bathroom for about a half an hour and then left. And but that's the only.
Everybody's been charging his cell phone in there.
That's what I heard. But
And he's taking his dog in with him, and people are afraid to use the bathroom. I'm glad you brought that up.
yeah.
Can
So-
you, is there a loitering even? Can you hang out in the bathroom for, no, I know. Just throwing things,
He does the
darts
same
at the
thing at the
wall.
library late at night. He sits on the front porch, trying to get the people at the library to say,
I remember when I was a kid, you'd be stopping us and telling us to keep it moving.
"Oh, that's because you always look guilty."
Yeah.
Always was.
I got no defense on that.
But these days, we really need the backing and a deposition from the library to saying that no loitering on our property after normal business hours.
Right.
So,
Yeah, she's done a good job.
Yeah, she does. And our numbers are up from last year.
Excellent.
And I think maybe the flyers that we put out into the Prospect School in 5th and 6th grade probably had some people aware of that our program is running. So I think that might have helped. And, so she's doing a good job.
Yeah, sounds like great numbers. That's excellent.
Hmm.
So somebody here from the sports boosters. I know we put up the sign for the, the football team. Nobody has said anything, but I imagine somebody probably will about our track team, winning something. I think is there something maybe we could even do with like sports boosters? I know like Rob Kuzmano reached out to me and he said that, future, we'll look into sports boosters doing something. So, because it is kind of unfair.
I get
If we
it.
put, and I know we're going to get a wrath here by some track moms, and I don't want to leave anybody out, but
Well, actually, I talked to Jeff Peters today, and he said Avon has a sign where they list coming into the village of all sports. So I asked him to take a picture of it and maybe do something like that.
yeah, I've seen a couple of them myself. It's kind of like a little, it's got like a chain link fence or whatever, and they got the signs
I
on
can't
there.
even picture
Yeah,
it, so.
yeah. You see every now and again, you'll see them coming in. But we got great sports teams. Sounds like we're gonna have a heck of a football team again this year too, with Alexander merging with Attica. That's gonna be something. So something we can discuss. Other than that, I don't have anything else for administrator. Anybody have
They just
any-
need an executive session
Okay.
later.
All right. So moving on to any old business. New business. I do have something I brought up earlier, we discussed. The clock dedication will be July 29th at 11 o'clock for the Lions Club. The Moeller family is flying in from a lot of different places throughout the nation, at least. So, everybody's obviously, welcome to attend. I think they're going to even do a ceremony after, or not ceremony, after. They're going to meet up at the Attica Golf Course, that 10th hole golf course, for refreshments. And I have a wedding that day, so I won't be able to make that. I'll go down for the dedication. But just wanted to, say a good thing. I know Attica Days. I agree with you. It was scary there in the middle. Something, if they wanted to do something, we could work something on. And it was a bigger sidewalk on Market Street. They had a 40-foot sidewalk on Market Street. I get their idea, trying to get people into the shops that are local. So we'll definitely work on that. But kudos to them for doing something. It was a nice one.
Would it be an option to shut the street down for an event like that? I mean, other villages do that.
Yeah, Plumpkin does it.
Shut the state highway down.
Well,
Tough
not
having
the
a
state,
main
but
artery.
at least like
Well, it is a state road.
They're both state highways.
full state, yeah. Because that's hard to do. And I think they actually charge you a fee to shut a state road down.
Probably for a certain, I know we've done it before for like parades and stuff, but, that's just for an hour or so.
Short time.
But to do it for a day,
Yeah.
that's,
I know they even mentioned about 2 days. I don't know about that, but, yeah, well, something else. We got 12 months or 10 months or whatever to start working on something. Just want to throw a shout out also to Vintage Cow. Congratulations on the 5 years of their anniversary, and they just did their. I don't know if anybody's been there. It's fantastic. Love it. Burgers are great. Try the deep fried cheese curds. Obviously, congratulations to them. We had a great grand opening here. I was able to attend, and then, I went to the World Cow event where Pam was involved with. That was a good time too. I had some vendors there. Good time. They had a band. Something they're gonna, I believe they're gonna continue to do on. This was their second annual. So, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the World Cow. It's actually just, it's an international thing. It was started, and obviously Attica is a, big part of it because Stevens family was the first one to bring over the Holstein cow, so it's into America. So kudos to them for putting on a great show. Other than that, that's the only new business I have. Does anybody else have any new business? All right. So moving on, I'll entertain a motion. The village board approves the resolution for the W2A application. WII.
So we're doing two things here with these resolutions you guys are gonna be approving, or
So,
disapproving, whatever. But we're working on the second bio tower at the wastewater treatment plant. We're trying to get grant funding for that through WIA or QUIP, or QUIP. QUIP. okay? And then we're also working on the grant for the elevator for this building. That's some of the other resolutions you're going to be seeing here tonight. I think that is probably around $300 and some odd $1,000 for that one. The wastewater treatment plant project, again, when you do a bond resolution, which is what I gave you there, on a bond resolution, you want to make sure you ask for everything you could possibly think of in the bond resolution.
Shoot for the
You
start.
don't have to spend it all, you don't have to borrow it all, you just have to borrow. But, so what they allow is the contingency to be, 30% of the project. So you can build that in for your bond resolution instead of just what the actual cost for construction is. So that helps us because cost overruns or whatever it may be, you may need to borrow more than, say, $800,000 or $900,000 to repair the bio tower. But I think I raised it to 1.217 million. And again, this is also the one that we're working on with the state to get us money from the corrections. So if we can get the grant and the money from corrections, then obviously the user fees that we have to borrow for this project is not as much. But that's what the gist of these resolutions are.
All right, I'll make a motion.
Second.
Motion got a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried. Recommend action that the village board approves the resolution for the WQIP application. Okay, so I can read that if you like.
Motion.
We got a motion, we got a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried. Recommend action, the village board approves the following resolution. This is for the MMA fight. It's going to do a proclamation for Kyle Rosiski Day. It's something neat for bringing him back home from China from his own hometown.
I move.
Got a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried. Recommended action, the village board closes the public hearing at 7:17 PM. For the purpose of hearing public comments for the Village of Attica's Community Development Block Grant applications for the 2023 program year. After hearing from all parties, the board approves the submission of the CDBG grant.
That's for the
Application.
elevator.
Yep.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried. Recommended action, I'm gonna change this a little bit too, because I wanna add in, the MMA fight. The fire department is going to be parking cars similar to the rodeo.
Oh, all right.
So, recommended action, the village board approves the use by the fire department to park cars at the park for the rodeo and the MMA fight. You guys don't do it for German Fest, do you? No? Okay. Just those two.
I move.
Got a motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried. All right, see the justice report. Assessor's report, letter from attorney, this would, oh, that's the elevator one, so we did that one. So we discussed the letter from the attorney.
I think I handed you two other resolutions to do.
Well, this wasn't, what
One's
did
a
I do?
seeker,
Okay, well, this is for the elevator.
one's seeker, and one's bond resolution.
Okay.
Seeker's for the elevator, the bond resolution's for the,
So I'll entertain a motion to accept the seeker for the Village Hall elevator installation project.
I'll move.
Second.
Got a second? All in favor?
Aye.
I'll entertain a motion for the bond resolution.
Motion.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried. All right, unless there's anything else that needs to be brought forth to the board, I'll entertain a motion to go into an executive session.
Second.
All in favor?
who's that?
Uh,
I motion.
and Matt and Hans. Did you talk to the chief about, Wow, it just left my head. Oh, about the property for the possible fire department.
I talked to Tony.
Okay.
Tony's was the chairman, right?
Is he still on it? Is he still on the?
Still the chairman? I talked to Tony.
Did he look into it or? was
He
it-
said give him a month.
Okay. What are you thinking about?
Have a good night, guys.
Hey, too, Matt. We got Steve. It wouldn't take anything out of the actual tax. That'd be out of the village. Yeah. Stevens. There's just one place.
It's really a good spot.
Yeah, it really is. I was even thinking, which I don't know if they put these trees in as a memorial, but between the two superintendents' houses.
We've never had.
There's that gap there.
Never had.
But I know I saw some trees and finally was taking care of them, so.
Where's your certificate for
You know, that might not be an option, but that would be even better, closer to the village.
No, it'll be,
And they have to come out.
No, it'd be town.
It's gonna be about 4,000. I'm doing it.
We'd have to contract through the town,
The county did.
Right, yeah.
or do something, we'd have to come up with some sort of agreement,
Did it when he did, he didn't charge you to do it.
which we would have had to, even if we had done Stevens.
Right.
He
I
did
believe,
it
because
because
it's, it's annexed
We
now.
use it.
I don't 100% know how that's.
annexed in
Like
like
20
Yeah.
I don't know what ways of doing
Everything is
it.
to go on state.
See, I'm moving that
land.
inside.
But still.
And it would eliminate property that they have to maintain, which they're having a tough time maintaining, so it's gonna be a win-win situation for everyone.
Yeah, it's tough. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. I gotta be careful what I say.
Yeah.
Good night, people.
Good.
See you, Garrett.
Yeah.